Welcome back to ESL Pro League Season 6 here at the Intel Esports Arena in Copenhagen, Denmark. We've had a marathon of a week so far, but we finally made it to play day 6 of week 1, Season 6. Whew, that's a bit of a mouthful. It's Sunday Fun Day. Lads, I have a gentleman and a scholar. I'll let you guys decide who is who. YNK and Natu joining me. How are we going?
I'm the scholar.
Well, I'm just doing fine. I don't
You don't want to be a gentleman?
I don't really listen to you.
You're the one in the jacket.
That's true. I can be the gentleman. So
For a change.
For a change, exactly. I'm a douchebag normally. That's what the word on the street says.
Yeah, it's usually how Finns are.
Okay. Well, where to start? I want to,
very temperamental.
We could talk a little bit about the fight that we saw last night. That's where I thought the band would go. You know, how much sleep did we get? We saw it was a spectacle. I think we'll call it.
A bunch of hugs.
But there was hugging going on.
It was
all
nice.
still mates at the end.
Yeah, it was a nice show. It was far better than I expected it to be.
Hold up a minute. Our motto comes into play here. Still get paid the same regardless. So fantastic for everybody there. But for those of you who don't get paid the same, if you missed last night's matches, we can bring up the standings right now and show you what happened. Get stuck into those ones. This is North America. We didn't see them play last night. We saw them play last on Friday. They're taking a bit of break in North America over the weekend. I think they've got
must be nice
laws or something about that. But SK's still at the top of the leaderboard there, with Optic coming in second, but quickly tick over to Europe. This is what we want to see. FaZe Clan up the top. Fnatic, they're very impressive. Finally got a map taken off them last night by Na'Vi on Mirage. That was a bit of a big win there. Simple going ham. I think that'd be a nice way to put it. NIP, disappointing start for them.
Yeah, certainly. If you look at the table, I think North, Fnatic are two that definitely, along with FaZe, obviously, been nice surprises. North has looked good yesterday, especially. They were giving NIP a bit of a showing.
Yeah, it feels so difficult in this league. There are so many good teams and so many teams that can cause upsets as well. We see Heroic early on, you know, on the higher part of the table, 5-3 score, and if you're NIP, for example, or Na'Vi, you really feel like you can't give any O2s in this league. But maybe it's just you know, issue of them warming up to the league and to the officials, and they're going to perform better once a couple of games are underway.
Get that ring rust out of the way. Well, tonight we do actually have two big games coming your way. We have G2 vs Mousesports first up, and we're going to follow that with Na'Vi once again taking on NIP. So these are two really good games, boys. 4
different maps. You'll love to see that.
Yeah.
None of that nonsense playing the same map twice.
I like variety.
Yes, G2 is on the rise after that initial matchup versus FaZe, where they did fall a little bit flat. They have definitely performed better, more than anything else individually. You know, they've been on a good run, winning all pistols and so forth, basically fulfilling their win conditions in games. Strong start, control of the economy, couple of force buys going their way. So for Mousesports, who are, I think some of them maybe just recently got back from Gamescom, they were, you know, participating in the Omen Challenge there. It's going to be interesting to see if they're ready to just jump into a proper official game right now.
I wonder if they're boot camping right now then. Are they staying in Germany?
I think they went home. I don't know, but I think they went home. We can check their Twitters later.
Probably
We'll get a little bit of stalking going on there. But yeah, the first matchup for tonight is actually going to be the G2 vs Mouse, on which we were just touching on. This one right here, it feels like a lifetime ago when we saw the guys from G2 play first, right? Like, it was back on the first day. It was Tuesday we saw them go up against FaZe.
So much Counter-Strike chat.
That's fine. They looked a little bit lackluster when they kicked it off.
Yeah, they did. I think we were really, you know, we really wanted to see more out of G2 in terms of set pieces, some set executes. They seem to be all over the place, just running a default play style. And against FaZe, that's probably not the way you want to go. They have so many skilled individuals in that team. It's going to be very difficult to penetrate bomb sites. But against some of the other teams later on in the league, Astralis, most notably, things did go a bit more their way, as we already mentioned, with winning pistols and a couple of crucial rounds.
There were similarities between those two matchups in the sense of we were seeing fantastic individual performances come out from the players on G2. There was lots of aces being made over both the Astralis game and the FaZe games. But like we said, they were just able to close out in the Astralis game where they weren't able to do against the individual brilliance of FaZe. Yeah,
they were just much more decisive throughout the later part against Astralis, especially. Meaning that when they were going to the bomb sites, they looked like they really had the poise to get in there instead of just kind of trying it at it, last they did against FaZe, where they just made it too easy for, especially on their T sides, to give the individuals of FaZe the time, the angles to just mow them down.
And the odds definitely favor G2 there, as they have the I guess, the better odds over Mousesports. If you're a betting man, maybe this is a cheeky one to get involved with because, you know, Mouse, we did touch on them, you know, with this change of roster, we were talking about them being an upgrade for them, the players that they've brought in to replace Dennis and Lau. So in the forms of Sunny and Stiko, hasn't actually worked out for them just yet. We're still seeing them get through those teething issues, but it looks like they could be on the right course. I
think it's too early to tell still. We saw some great things from Mousesports. We saw a couple of not so great things as well, but that's what you can expect from a team that's had roster changes recently, and especially in online games. I do believe with time they're only going to improve. We have no reason to believe otherwise. We saw after the changes earlier this year when Nico went to FaZe and the rest of the players got a bit more room to work with. They actually looked very, very solid strategically. Seems like the roles were set properly. Everyone was contributing to the team. They had a couple of very good results in high-profile LAN tournaments. So, yeah, as I said, no reason to believe otherwise. I think Mousesports is going to be one of the teams who are definitely going to be vying for that playoff spot.
Yeah, for me, they're a very intriguing lineup for sure. They've got some good pieces to the puzzle. Someone like Rops, for being as inexperienced as he is, I think he's a super smart. Already plays like a seasoned veteran in a lot of situations, and now they've added players like Stiko and Sunny, who's also a very smart and a great aimer too. He can do a lot of things on that server. So when you add up on players like Oscar, very versatile opper, I think that's just great dynamic going there. I think, you know, interesting going forward to see how Christian develops as an in-game leader.
And on a topic slightly different, I think Mousesports is a great example of how a team basically fought for their place in Tier 1 Counter-Strike, so to speak, how they basically got out of that routine that their best players are constantly getting picked off by better teams, right? It was a couple of high-profile signings, or more so once Nico went to FaZe, they actually had the cash to make some of the buyouts themselves, and they managed to build a team that right now is very strong. And none of these players actually have a particular reason to move on to a different team. Mousesports is very strong. They have good opportunities to compete at the highest profile tournaments and make some high placings.
There's something that we want to touch on. You brought it up before, Janko, is that Mousesports, they were at the Omen Challenge, and this is a new roster, a new bunch of 5 guys getting together. And Natu, you have saying...
I love 5 guys.
The burgers?
Yeah.
Yeah. That could go anywhere. You're talking about 5 guys, might not be out the burger place. But we were talking about how a team dynamics are a very important role, in being social is part of that. And this Omen Challenge that they went to at Gamescom, they actually got to be together as a team and do some fun stuff and actually build that dynamic. So how important do you think that is to you know, developing this team early?
Yeah, I would think it's always important to spend some time together outside the game, get to know each other on a more personal level as well. It kind of adds to the feel you'll get during the games. I'm a guy who always wants my team, for example, when I was playing, you know, make the environment the same in practice and official games. And, you know, what helps that is when you have some kind of social connection with the guys, you know, you have your own little banter within the team, the jokes and stuff like that. So you always develop that kind of stuff when you're spending time together.
I think it definitely helps, but I, for one, don't believe that it's necessary. You know, you don't all have to be best friends, best mates, brothers, you know, we're together till the end. I think what you need to have is... I think what you need to have is some mutual respect, right? You need to have respect within the team in order to be able to work together towards the same goal. If you don't have that, then the team is just not going to function properly. But I don't think everyone has to be best mates.
I don't think anyone should think that way either.
Well, it's probably not healthy.
It helps to have natural chemistry, doesn't it?
It's not healthy if you know, if you're only basing your team chemistry on being friends, then when you have falling outs, which are bound to happen in Counter-Strike, your team's not going to be too healthy.
Yeah, no, the biggest issues in Counter-Strike teams are giving and receiving feedback. You know, that's like the one big issue all the teams have. So if you're two good mates, that can definitely be an issue.
That segues nicely into LMBT and his influence on this team, because the coaches now kind of have more of that role where they're the ones telling the players if they're doing things wrong, and they're the bad guy and taking that away from the in-game leader, which I know from my experience was always hard, because if you're constantly telling off your players for doing mistakes and making issues within
the server. What about
what
you did, Chad?
Exactly.
What about the mistake you made here?
Which one?
I mean, that's just the response you get
like,
from
what
the
have I
players,
done
right?
now?
It's always like when you try to give constructive criticism to someone, a lot of the times it just comes down to shifting blame.
Yes.
And for some players, it's very difficult to understand. The point is not in who is to blame. The point is what can we do to improve together as a team. And I think that what we see, in the past year or 2 years or so, more and more players are more professional in that sense. They realize that, no one is out there to get them. Everyone just tries to improve as much as possible as a team and try to be better, which is a good thing. You love to see that.
Yeah, definitely so. And I think LMBT is a coach within this team who has had a lot of impact, especially in helping Chris J with the in-game leadership role.
I think it definitely needs that. Chris J always known to be very emotional and not your traditional in-game leader. He's kind of being forced to get put in that position. So then having someone guide him, help him, learn certain patterns and ways to react in situations is always going to be beneficial.
I think it's also important to note real quick that, this is not your traditional in-game leader type where Chris J does more or less everything alongside LMBT. This is very much a team effort. At least it was before the roster change. Chris J said a number of times in interviews that all of his teammates give input during the round. They make good calls. They have good suggestions. So he doesn't have to do all that much. He just gives a general direction, and they all work together towards how they want to finish the round.
As long as it doesn't become a mess.
Yeah. Too many voices, too many chefs, right? That can always be an issue. But on a map like Cobblestone, which is the first one we have this evening, the mid-round calls can be very important because you're getting strung out as the T side. You're taking control of A long, you're taking control of middle, you're holding the drop zone area and B long, and then from there the mid-round call needs to be made if you're just defaulting, right? This is where you relay the information back to your in-game leader, and if you have too many voices or too many people taking risks, which is something we did see with Fnatic on Overpass when we saw them play earlier in the week. It got 30 seconds left in the round. Bomb was left at T-spawn. Everybody was pushed up in very forward positions. It didn't look like Golden was wrangling the team very well. Is this something that you think a team like Mousesports is still going to struggle with, or more drilled?
I feel like in a map like Cobblestone, it's pretty straightforward in terms of how you want to do mid-round calling. If let's say like you traditionally have a 3-man pack taking over towards the A bomb side, you'll have a couple players, one playing over drop and one B long. If let's say there's action towards the A bomb side and they get some opening kills over there, the guy around drop is maybe going to hear what happens with the rotations, and he can be the guy to then make a call or make a move according to what goes on. And then if he goes down drop and gets into somewhere in between the CTs, basically that's something we see Robs do a lot of times, then he can be the one to initiate, make a call of what should happen next.
I think Mousesports was terrible on Cobblestone when Nico was in the team. I just think they spent a lot of time doing nothing on the map, not seizing map control aggressively enough. It's become a lot better now that Chris J and LMBT are the ones holding the reins, but I think G2 is more of a team who will run the style Yona was mentioning, where we saw it on Cash, for example, against FaZe. MBK would be on the opposite side of the map, and if he could get that one kill while his team was pressuring A, for example, if he gets one kill on that player who's the anchor towards the B bomb site, then the whole team will just rotate back to him. So it's something that Mousesports should probably keep an eye on, not over-rotating and expecting that very, very late lurk on the opposite side of the map.
We did see G2 lose this map earlier in the week to North. It was 16-7. They had an average CT side. I know they kept getting reset and couldn't get the AWPs up on Kenny. He had not a great performance. And then they couldn't get anything done on the T side. They got shut out with only one round. I know we're kind of casting our minds back, and we've watched a lot of Counter-Strike in this time, but the North that we've been seeing was quite fast-paced. Is that something that you think the Mousesports should be looking to do as well, or just play with a normal game plan? Don't try and Counter-Strike G2 or play to their weaknesses?
I think it's definitely viable going for some faster-paced executes. I think in general, the game plan, no matter the map, should be more or less the same. You want to probably start a bit faster, especially against G2, which is a team that force buys. If they don't win that force buy and lose pistol, then they're not going to have a lot of utility in the first gun round. You want to exploit that with fast pace. They won't have the incendiaries, maybe not even the HE grenades to slow you down. So once you exploit that, then later on in the half, you can slow it down, bait them out, things like that.
I think it really depends on the individuals on the team, how good are they adapting and playing more freestyle in the sense of how do we play according to what our opposition does, or how we've seen other teams play against them. Because I see it in some of the teams, especially when it's a newly formed lineup, that it's the better call to go with the things that they've been trying and drilling, because everyone knows exactly what they want to do, and especially in these teams where they have multi-language or multinational teams that don't necessarily speak English their first language that then can cause a bit of chaos. So it's a bit of a case-sensitive thing in that sense, in my opinion.
Well, we are waiting on 3 players to join the server before we get started. I can go on my little diatribe about the IP comes up 15 minutes before the game is meant to go live, and the players should all be in there straight away because they're professionals and they get paid a lot of money, all that kind of fun stuff. But we'll give it a miss because who am I? So now we're going to ask this question. This is one that I quite like. G2, as a team, when we saw them on LAN before the player break, were doing a thing where they were taking like a full eco on the second round after they lost.
Go the coin flip way now.
No, they lost pistol. They'd take the full eco and then they'd just die, and then they'd buy Galils or like get AK without head armor. And that was something they were looking to do. This isn't something we've really seen transition to online. Do you think this is maybe something they keep for specific teams who they know like to buy lots of SMGs? Do you think it's a strategy that they were just trying out before the player break?
I think more than anything else, it's probably that they feel more comfortable doing it on LAN because there's a bit more pressure perhaps on the teams when they perform on LAN, and, and G2 doesn't really feel it. They have very experienced players on the team, and it's also that their philosophy is very much clear, even though probably most of us don't agree with it at times. They just want to always try and break their opponent's economy. They don't care about their own economy. As long as their opponent's economy is in danger, they're going to force buy with whatever they have to try and break that and get control of the money system as soon as possible. And that's one of the ways. It might be map dependent to an extent. They did it a lot on Nuke on the T side, and maybe it also has something to do with their confidence in their own gun rounds, right? If maybe they feel like they don't have that deep of a playbook in pure gun rounds, they are more prone to forcing early.
Yeah, they did it on Overpass as well. They did that thing where they stood in the Molotov and 3 of them died. I think they did it on Inferno as well in middle. It was something which they were trying to do so that I guess the CTs couldn't tell what weaponry they had. That's one way to look at it, and they don't let them farm the kills with the SMGs and get some more money.
Well, also interesting to see if Mousesports is still going to go for the 5 Tech 9s after winning a pistol round after the nerf. That was an interesting approach. They made sure they had all the grenades possible, and they just bought 5 Tech 9s.
To be fair, we didn't see it that often. They did it against Tangri at the major qualifier. I think they did it actually once at the major.
I've seen it a couple of times, pretty sure.
Yeah, so now I also don't believe after the nerf that it's going to happen that much. So we have more time, Chad. I'd like to hear...
We're waiting on one player.
One player? Okay, we'll leave this question for later.
Okay, we'll save that one. Save the gold.
We'll save it.
Okay. So while we're saving the gold and we're waiting for this one last player, let's just talk about Shox quickly. He's been playing better than what I was a bit harsh on him. I thought that the in-game leadership stuff was definitely putting him down in the dumps fragging-wise, but in these online matches so far this week, he's had a much better performance.
Yeah, after the initial match against FaZe, in their other 2 games, Shox was basically leading the pack, and that's what you love to see. G2 winning the pistols, Shox being very dominant in terms of the openings he creates for the team, right? He didn't have 35 kills on any of the map, but he had a lot of impact, getting maybe even just 1 kill in the round, but it was the 1 kill that they needed to get things moving, and he is definitely one of the players. I mean, maybe even the player who has the highest peak, when Shox has the game, there are very, very few players that can match him on the server. So you obviously want to see him in a system where he can shine and not take a step back so that the team has more room to work with.
The problem is players like MBK and Body are probably going to suffer in that sense. But I think now that he isn't picking up the secondary AWP, well, the fact that he's not picking up the secondary AWP on the CT side so much, we spoke about it the other day, how he can move around a lot more, and that allows Kenny S the freedom. I like the one AWP style. I much prefer that, especially when you have an AWP as good as Kenny S, because if it's a close economic struggle, then you can always, or a lot of the time, get him an AWP and you're not relying on the two.
It's also much more unpredictable, right?
And also when you have as good of a rivaler as Shox in it.
Exactly. He's one of the most versatile players we have in the whole scene, right? So it's definitely better to see him staying with the rifle. You can pick up the AWP if things aren't working. Let's have that as a plan C.
How good is he with a shotgun, though, Chad?
Not as good as JW, I bet.
I haven't seen him that much with a shotgun.
Maybe we should ask him.
Needs to work on that.
Tweet at him. You never know.
Oh, I mean, he is a Counter-Strike artist, so...
Well, that's probably why he doesn't use shotguns then. If he's an artist, we don't like to massacre the game. Who are the ones that destroy things? From like arts degrees? Not artists.
Not really an arts guy.
I don't know. Let's go on somewhere with it.
Let's be honest, we have no clue.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to educate you guys on the English language. Doing my best.
I've been trying that my whole life, Chad.
Yeah, Sponge's London School.
It's very, very slow.
I think we're still waiting on one player. That would probably make sense.
That question.
Yeah, we probably would have had time for that one. Alrighty.
Do you feel like teams can avoid their players getting poached all the time if they have a team that's, you know, players from the same country, all 5 players.
Getting poached.
For example, like Heroic. How can Heroic avoid, you know, Yugi or Nico tomorrow getting poached by North or Astralis if they have only Danish players? My point being,
wait, what?
My point is, right? Because they have other Danish teams that they can join, but there's not an Estonian team that Robs can join. There's not a Finnish team that Sunny can join. There's not a Czech-Slovakian team that Oscar can join, right? So they, in an international team, they find their spot and they're comfortable there. And now that Mousesports has formed a team with 5 very strong individuals that work together as a team, you know, those players don't have anywhere else to go. There's not an Astralis that Oscar can go to, right? There's only FaZe. Yes, there is FaZe, but that also only works to an extent, right? Some of the players have played with the guys from FaZe.
You're forgetting one key region, North America, the retirement village for Counter-Strike players.
Yeah, but that's like for players who want to retire with a lot of money, like China is for football players, you know?
Yeah.
Or North America.
Or for me, if they want to pay me 200,000 Australian dollars a year. Would you come to China with me for 200 grand?
What, Australian? No.
We'll go euros.
No.
Ah, all right.
Wow.
Looks like I'm going alone there.
It has to be more money, Chad. That's
more money?
Point.
One player is rebooting his PC. We're not just talking because we like the sound of our own voices. If anything,
I haven't answered my question, by the way.
About getting poached. Yeah, I think it is harder in the sense for a player. Well, I think Yugi or whatever could join a team like Mousesports or a team like FaZe. Was that your question?
No. You weren't paying attention.
No,
I'm disappointed.
Do you mean for players like Rops getting poached to go to another team?
I mean for a team, right? Is it like possible for how more difficult it is for a team that has players from the same country to keep them rather than a team that has mixed nationalities?
Much harder. That's your answer.
That was my point. Why are you so confused, Chad?
Well, when you asked the question, you and I looked at each other like, what is he saying? And then it made sense. Then it clicked. Then the penny dropped. My brain's being rebooted as well, just like that guy's computer. I don't know who it is. Maybe we need to buy him a new one. Maybe you can get one of these.
Just depressed because you put your daily fee on McGregor.
Yeah, that wasn't the smartest move, was it? No, we've really talked a lot about Counter-Strike. Let's just talk about other things until the casters are ready.
About life, you want to analyze the match from last night?
Not particularly. We're not experts like
Blue
and
a lot of Twitter was.
Everyone's an expert when it comes to that fight.
Yeah, apparently. It appeared to be. Going down my Twitter feed, I found out a lot of esports people know a lot about boxing.
But they were even counting rounds, so I didn't even have to watch the game. I could have just been on Twitter. I would have known everything.
All right, boys. Well, everybody's favourite British casting duo is standing by. They're happy as Larry. It's Henry and Harry. Take it away, boys.
It's the final day, and he's given us a decent throw. You happy with
that was
one?
good. No, yeah. I think that was the best one yet.
It is. I won't lie. I did think of it. I gave it to him.
Oh, okay.
But still, he delivered it well, I thought. Anyway, Harry, how are you feeling this last day? You enjoyed your time last week?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope I can be back for more.
Yeah, I'm sure you
ESL,
will.
come on, step up. Well, I hope they're watching. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this as well. I think we have some really good teams to end it on. If for my time here at least, G2 and Mouse right now, probably two of my more favourite teams, going to be going head to head, and we've seen them both play, so that gives us a good kind of ground to speak about them on as well.
I'm excited for this one. I think G2. It's a nice storyline, the fact that some nights they're lights out and knocking everyone for 6. Other nights, a little bit disappointing. I'm hoping it's the electrifying G2 that turns up tonight. It's always fun to watch when players like Kenny S, Shoxy, they're going off. Here we go then. It's going to be G2 starting on the CT side. We'll have Mousesports on the T side, of course, as we get into this one. 4 sets of R1 looks like a mid-rush. 1 smoke for the connector. One player towards long A as well. It's going to be Oscar leading the charge here. Smoke deployed, full commitment. Sunny with that first frag as he takes down Apex.
Yeah, they're going to keep on going. Kenny's trying to hold this one off. It's going to have to fall back over to Stables. Players coming in through long, and he's going to fall at the first hurdle. And, well, in the meantime, MBK doesn't really step up. It Shocks to try and do the damage. Body able to take one more, so they've turned it into the 2-on-3. Bomb isn't down just yet either for Mousesports. It is going to be just waiting on the back of Oscar beneath balcony. Hasn't been afforded the bomb plant just yet, but Robs lands a fantastic shot. Now it is just Body left in the 1v3. Oscar's going to be allowed to get the bomb down. Body, we've seen him have lights out performances for G2 in the past. He has been, at times, the main driving force behind it, but a 1v3 is a tall order for any man. Spots the player out in mid, it's Sunny, and he will decapitate him. Mousesports are going to go up 1-0 as they get the pistol.
Nice work from Mousesports. Pretty standard pistol there. 4 towards middle. That one smoke. Deploy it as soon as you get up the mid-ramp. One player towards long A as well to stop any backstabs coming through and any oversides towards that area. And then find the kills. Get in there together. Sunny gets the first one. Takes that Apex. He's normally playing long A for G2. And then at that point, running away with it. G2 got only 2 frags in total there. So not the best start for them. They will be semi-forcing into round number 2 here. Will be Deagles, CZs, 3 sets of armor. And you can see quite a rifle-centric purchase here from Mousesports. 2 Galils, an AK-47, Max for Sunny, and a UMP for Chris J. Default for now. No rushes required at this point. Just hold up, go in together, wait for any aggression from the CTs. And looking at the minimap right now, you can see 4 players from the CT side stacked towards the A side of the map. Apex, MBK, Body, and Kenny S. It's quite a strange box formation they've got right now, and we'll see where this works out for them. In terms of utility, 1 smoke to work with, no kit, of course. The bomb for Mousesports over on the B side of the map.
Yeah, you know, we've seen that trifecta of doom work out before, but now a box is an entirely new prospect for Mousesports to have to try and deal with. But Apex going to fall back down towards long. Doesn't want to hold the angle that much more. Sunny, as a result, is going to be afforded long control. Starts to push on up. Has the trade potential. Oscar going to be waiting here with him. Body and Kenny, slowly but surely pushing up over towards long. They have support from Apex. They're not going to take the peek, and in the meantime, Mouse now start to rotate these players back around to rejoin the guys over on B. MBK spotting mid with the Deeg. Does spot one of these players. Actually going to do the damage as he finds them both. MBK steps up, shocks on the Deeg. Going to be doing damage over on platform. Rops does take the trade, but it's still a massive 2-man advantage up for G2. 1 player left within the site. That's Apex. He's going to start to sneak on in. Doesn't quite deny the plant. Does the damage, but doesn't get the frag as Rops continues his reign of terror, but he only gets 1 more. Down goes Chris J as MBK steps up massively with the Deagle in that round to somehow take 1 back for G2.
Become a bit of an old cliche that G2 are very good with the pistols and those forced buys, but you can't argue with those results. MBK with that Desert Eagle, he's been in amazing form recently. Even in the quiet nights for G2, he's been kind of the talisman for them, and managing to find 3 more frags there with the Desert Eagle. It will tie things up at 1-1, a disastrous result for Mousesports, who had a good approach as well. Started off nicely in towards the default, finally executing towards B, but getting picked off 1 by 1. Those strong pistols from G2, just completely punishing them there. It's round number 3, and of course, it's the forced buy in return. We did, in fact, get the bomb down there for Mousesports, so it's going to be a pretty decent buy. You can see a Mac 10 there as well for Sunny. They've got head armor across the board, and this should be some sort of execution play. You don't buy this kind of utility without going for the wall of smokes here. We have 1 player pushing through. That's going to be Rops. Very aggressive. Does sneak through, but MBK, the chicken coop here with the M4, he should cause some damage, and here comes the wall of smokes.
Shox is actually charged on through, finds himself up on platform in the belly of the beast. The nade comes in, the damage done, and somehow he's still alive, darting around. Overstays his welcome just a little bit as Oscar does manage to find him, but it all falls onto him. 1v4. Bomb dropped up on platform, and Oscar, well, he somehow worked his way in to drop down, but that's not going to lend him any favors here, as the bomb is far gone. With 1 minute and 5 seconds left, he's going to perhaps like to try and loop back round. Unfortunately, not really much he can do with this one. No nades or flashbangs or anything like that. It's got the Tech 9 in armor, which has been buffed recently, the Tech 9. It's better at range now if you want to tap. Not so good for running and gunning so more, but still has the same sort of firepower and can be very beneficial at long range. Some people are kind of saying it's like a mini AK now if you can tap with it effectively. He'll go towards the platform here and try his luck. I don't think he'll get much more than maybe a bit of damage inflicted as he gets dinked. That's going to be the end of his round. Body takes him down on that Galil, and it's quite the clean sweep of G2, giving away 1 frag after Shoxy. Like he said, aggressive on the upper platform there, finds 2 frags as they're executing. I was hoping for a bit more from that, considering they had that decent buy with the bomb going down. They had Tech 9's head armor, all the utility, went for the smokes, but unfortunately Shoxy was 1 step ahead. Took down 2 of them before they could really even get to the bomb site. And here it is, 2-1. Has to be the full eco now for the international side, Mousesports. No longer a German lineup. We've got Netherlands, Estonian, Czechoslovakian. There's all sorts, really. Finnish. It's really quite eclectic, I would say. There's a little bit of everything in here. And, well, Mousesports going to be heading in through mid. Shox is in the back line, though, and this should be a nice, easy mop-up. Oh, Shox, please, hey. There you go. He does wisen up to the fact that I was heading in right behind him. He was able to pick that up, and that will be G2 to go ahead and take a 3-1 scoreline before the buy comes in at 4 Mouse. They're going to be buying up the AKs. Don't have enough to field an AWP. Ops could drop one over, but I don't see him foregoing armor, which he won't. He's going to have full utility. So pretty decent buy on the cards right now for Mouse in this round. The AWP up on Kenny, as G2 do manage to break that one out early on.
Interesting to see the CT side with 2 Galils. That's quite rare. But like you said, Kenny S, one of the most dangerous AWPers we have in CSGO. He'll be defending this mid-rush coming in from the Mousesports side. He's got a perfect angle for it as well. No one towards long A, but he misses the first shot. Now he might find himself in some trouble, but it's Kenny S. Can't find anything at the moment. He might go down. That's disappointing. 2 bites of the cherry. Can't find the shot required. 5 on 3 now. Shoxy deploying utility here, and I think they might have to call the early save. That's a little bit shocking from Kenny. Like, it's still a difficult shot, and I guess I hold him to a very high standard. I wanted to be hitting the, I guess, the easier shots for his capability. Misses 2 of them. If he just gets 1 there, that retake potentially possible. But Mousesports dictating the pace of the play there, rushing up towards middle, very similar to what we saw on their pistol round. And Kenny S missing those shots means they do get a clean bomb. And this is quite standard, really. If you do get a 5-on-3 situation, it's very unlikely you'll go for the retake here from the B bomb side. Such a tight choke point from the connector and the balcony. And early stages of the round as well, the terrorists will have a magnitude of utility. They have their smokes, their molotovs, they can hold you out for so long. So it's just worth holding on to whatever rifles you've got. They give 1 more kill away. Shoxy and MBK saving a Galil and the M4. They'd definitely be able to buy into the next round, I'd imagine. Plenty of cash. You can see Body with $10,000. He can drop an AWP here. Could even go for the double AWP if they wanted to. Not going to be the case. We haven't seen G2 double AWP as much. Seems like they've gone off that. It was Shoxy and Kenny S who were quite a formidable duo. Now it seems MBK is the secondary AWP for this team, which is interesting, but we'll see how that storyline develops as we get into round number 6 here. 3-2 is the overall scoreline, and we go into a default for Mousesports.
Yeah, they're going to be taking this one slowly. They've already been allowed to find the first onto Shox. Body, though, through the smoke, able to find the 4-on-4 once again. Now swaps out the M4 in favor of the AK. Chris J going to be holding over here by drop down. Isn't going to commit to anything just yet. The bomb still dropped back passive, as Apex does a wait down and drop. Body and MBK over here towards B with Kenny holding mid, just looking to try and be that linchpin. Apex gonna rotate in to try and help them. They stick Body up on top of tree as well in case Mousesports do decide to make their way into B. But it's Chris J down in drop. He's the man to try and kickstart all of this. You can see the rotates have come back round. MBK does find some damage, but it isn't going to be enough as they go blow for blow in through the smoke there. The rest of Mousesports start their push up through long. Body over towards tree, has to try and step up here. They're going to come pushing on through. He hops down, flashes into the site, and Body's going to hold the close angle. First dispatches of the man in drop, and now Body surrounded by the players up on platform. It's Sunny to find 2 as he goes onto the entry. Kenny left in the 1v3. Bomb hasn't been allowed to go down just yet, and Kenny pushing aggressively into the site. Could try and deny this bomb plant here, but Stico will be allowed to get away with it. Kenny takes the peek, finds the first. He's still got 2 more left to deal with. 1 player up on plat, 1 over towards short, and it's Sunny to take the triple, the hat-trick. And that will be Mousesports on to a 3rd as they find their equalizer.
Mousesports there with the default at the start once again, but Oscar, as soon as he gets the AWP out, he can go toe-to-toe with Kenny S for sure. He's a very proficient AWP player. Goes towards that upper B platform, finds the first shot, and he gives them the 5-on-4 advantage. At that point, we go for the full commitment there from the G2, or I should say Mousesports side, and they manage to overwhelm and trade frag for frag. Apex with the auto shotgun on the CT side, Harry. Not what I've seen before. We have seen Mag 7s before, but the auto shotgun towards long A. A double AWP set up for G2 as well. Not ideal, but that could work out quite nicely. Sunny has to fall back here, but Apex, the problem is if they do go towards B, how are you retaking that bomb site? But might not have to. Kenny S, first shot towards Stico there. And now the 5-on-4 is in their favor. He might want to try and recover that AK-47 has been dropped.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the auto shotgun, though. Apex going to be looking to try and tear through some of these Mousesports players. The Mac-10 up on Sunny. And the UMP for Chris J does leave a little bit to be desired in terms of firepower for Mouse.
Well, they've got no head armor on G2, so the Mac-10 actually is quite beneficial in some ways.
Yeah, that's actually very true. I mean, especially up close, these M4s do run the risk of just being shredded. Apex being perhaps the most vulnerable on the auto shotgun there. Shark's going to be holding long. With the AWP, they flash on through. Going to start this push up. He has to be careful because Charging on in, it's going to be Sunny the man with the MAC-10. Luckily enough, he puts some distance between them. Chris J on the UMP, going to fall prey to Body on the M4, and Shox, he misses the opener, but it's MBK to remedy that. Doesn't miss the second time around, though, and Oscar left in the 1v5, desperately trying to stay alive. Kenny will snuff him out. G2, they're going to go 4-3 up. They instantly take one back, and that is going to be some damage done to the economy of Mouse.
They can still buy just about. They have 3 players about the 5k mark, I believe, so 5,900, so they'll go in for this one. Oscar on the AWP as well. This will be their last buy, but sure you can see Chris J feeling the brunt of the damage there. He's only got the P250 and no head armor. So, double orb setup. It's on Shox, interesting enough. They have been changing things up this week, kind of experimenting with the idea of different AWPers, but Oscar once again, best Kenny S, 5-on-4, as Kenny changed his position, not towards B this time, actually heading towards the mid area, tried to get that aggressive pick. Apex recovers the AWP. He's going to be juggling weapons up here to deny them having double orbs. I guess at this point, wants to give the orb to a stronger player, and we'll see where that works out for them. But Shoxy goes down. Wide peaks toward long A, and Oscar will take that shot all day long.
Apex desperately trying to stand firm between Mousesports and the A site. Charging through was Oscar, but he's given this round away as MBK doubles down. Rops left in a 1v3. And he might be the Estonian wonder child that never stops, but right now all our eyes, hearts and minds light on Rops. 1v3 pushing up through the smoke. Spots the man in the sight. Shots raining in close to the left and the right. MBK finds the frag, gets himself the triple, and he's been on fire lately. I think we're in the era of NBK right now, as he seems to be the one lighting it up for G2 time and time again.
It's been a while, but he's looking very, very good right now. I'm a bit disappointed that from Mousesports to get those first 2 AWP picks, and then they seem like they just have to fully commit, that they're just all in. You've got so much time to work with there. Wait for the reactions to come through. They're running through those tight choke points at long A and towards middle as well, one by one, and panicking somewhat. Chris J just needs to calm those boys down and just realise when you have those kind of huge advantages, the CTs, they're on the back foot. You need to be waiting for their reactions and then let them make the mistakes. Don't gift them opportunities to spray you down like that. But still, it is an eco for Mousesports. It's 5-3 overall for G2. Should be quite the easy round here. Apex finds the bomb and a couple of kills as well. Takes down Sticko and Sunny. And now this round is nigh on impossible for the terrorist side, and that pretty much confirms it. Rops will be the last remaining player like he was in the previous round, but Kenny S, he looks like he's getting warmed up now. Hitting some nice shots with the AWP. A little bit slow to start, as G2 normally are in most tournaments. They say they're a team that doesn't like the early mornings or the first games of the tournaments. Not a great asset to have within a team, I will say. It seems to happen consistently. They'll drop the first group stage game, but for now, looking good, recovering quite nicely here. As we enter round number 10, it's 6-3 overall. And I would say it's certainly still a T-sided map, so this is looking very good for G2. Oscar now with the AWP once again, who has been finding those opening picks, but not capitalising on them right now.
Yeah, this time they're going to see if their solace lies over here towards B. They send everyone up through long and load all their eggs into one metaphorical basket as they start to sneak on in. Flashes rain through. Shox is out in the open. He's going to be fully flashed, but it's Body raining death down from tree as he finds 3. Looking to try and get more work done, which he'll do. Takes the 4th, goes in for the ace. He's so close to getting it, but MBK goes ahead and takes that final frag. Can't allow any star to shine brighter than him. But that will be G2, 7-3 up, 4 rounds ahead of Mouse. The economic reset comes in once again, and I think a much-needed pause as well going to be called on in.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. G2, they're running away with this game. At this point, you can see one by one through the smokes once again. Body, he doesn't look like he's being challenged there, Harry. He's out in the open, essentially, and he's not flashed. There's no Molotov on the tree, and he's finding players fully blind, just kind of floundering in front of him. And Mousesports, they don't look like they're composed right now. They seem like they're panicking somewhat. As we enter round number 11, they will indeed take that pause. And it looks like they have about 3k per player. So I doubt a buy comes in here in terms of loss bonus. Thank you for bringing that up. That'll be a 4th stage. So they're going to get $2,900 per player. And I'd say they'd probably go down to about 1.8k. Invest some deagles, some body armor, and allow themselves to get that maximum loss bonus next round. They still, you never know, might win this round. There's always a chance with these sort of buys, but it's not likely. That's the headline. Didn't even invest that much into it. 3 sets of armor, a few pistols there, and no nades. So, Mousesports, very good fraggers. Additional fragging power of Sunny and Sticko. Certainly something to behold, but the strategic game so far hasn't been great on the T side. We'll get into this one now. It should be quite the easy affair as they head towards the B side. Default for now, trying to find the first pick and bait out any grenades they can.
Gonna be sneaking over here towards drop down. Kenny, Body, and Shocks. They're the three within that B bomb site. Body actually gonna be backed up by MBK, who's currently sitting down in connector, waiting to see if any push comes out through drop. Having that two-pronged hold means that Apex really has to step up over on A, but you have the fast rotate to come in from MBK. In this round, though, it's going to be perfect. You have a three-man hold inside the B-bomb site. Mousesports slowly but surely pushing into the waiting guns of Kenny. Body to step up and take one more, and this is mostly eco frags. They go ahead and do it perfectly, keep 5 players alive, and that's exactly what they would want to do. Is now the money very, very built up over on the CT side. 3 players with 12,000 plus. You have Apex sitting almost on 10. Shocks is a little bit limited, but he's the only man with no cash. They're going to go 8-3 up. Mousesports still not really showing much in this matchup.
Not really, but that was the eco for them. It is round number 12. Still can pull this one back, believe it or not. I'm still not that worried about it. I feel like their basic approach to the opening segments of the round are good. They're getting those opening picks. It's just calming down and not overcommitting and making sure they're thinking about the decisions instead of going all in. Kenny S, though, he's being dynamic now, and like I said, starting to hit some wonderful shots as he takes down the first player. That's Oscar, and now 5 on 4. Not falling back just yet, trying to bait in his teammate Apex as well. It might just work. Oh, it's lovely. And once again, a 5 on 3 advantage, and nothing really achieved from the T side. Back towards B they go, but how do you finish this one off? You've got one smoke carry, a flashbang, and a Molotov. How are you finding these frags against players like Shoxy, who's just burrowed himself in towards the back of the side?
I mean, I guess B is going to be their best odds, seeing as right now only 2 players reside there. One of them being Shocks, who is tagged extremely low. They have to flash the Molotov to try and break their way into the site, but they don't account for Shocks. They don't bother checking it, so he's able to find the first uncontested. No trade in sight. A perfect crossfire with MBK, but it doesn't matter because Shocks just keeps taking lives. And now Stiko desperately trying to step on up in the 1v4. It's not looking likely here as G2 rotate on in. He finds himself trapped.
It's going to get a consolation frag, if you will. But once again, it's Mousesports on the default, getting out fragged there. They're not really using the flashbangs right now towards long A. That is face checking them at those long angles. Every other team in the world will get to that long A corner, flash over, try and bait out the shot. Kenny shouldn't be given an open duel like that, but he is, and he is playing very well, to be fair to him. He's going from B towards A, towards long A, middle, changing things up. That's what the top AWPers do, but Mousesports don't have a response right now, and that's a little bit disappointing. It seems like Cobblestone isn't one of their better maps right now with this new lineup. Seems there's a bit of work to do in terms of the tactical game, but still, mid-rush sometimes can work. You need to hit the shots. They've got 5 good aimers on the team, but Kenny S and MBK, they might be a little bit better. MBK, especially that AK-47 you mentioned, he's in great form right now. Gets 4 frags there. Very good stuff indeed. Double digits for G2. And round number 14. Another buy available for Mousesports here, but in terms of the frags, let's talk about those quickly. 2 for 12 is Chris J. Robs, one of their new star players. 4 for 11. Sticko with 6. No one's really stepping up here. Sunny, I think he's a tremendous world-class talent at times, but for now he's sitting outclassed generally by the whole of G2, especially the likes of NBK, Kenny S, Body, all in double digits right now.
Yeah, I think the duo for me in Mousesports, the ones that have to step up, is going to be Oscar and Sunny. And right now, they are absent. Robs pushing on up. He's the one on the entry. There you go. I mean, he can be the starting shot that they need as he's able to find that first frag. It's going to go untraded. That Molotov misses its mark as well, so Robs just allowed to wait things out over a long. Well, now Oscar and Sunny start to progress over in middle. Body gonna come peeking on in, checks the angle, but Rob's able to find it. He's now on 2, so he's the man. He's the catalyst in this round as he goes ahead and opens this up. It's all left on Apex, who's able to take 1 before Chris J actually finds him in through the doors there. And that's Mouse to claim 1 straight back. Still a long way away from doing any damage to that G2 economy. They'll have no issue buying up into the last round of this half. AWP up for Kenny, utility full across the board, kits on everyone, no excuse to not have everything they could possibly need here. For Mouse, similar story, double ups and Chris J pick those up.
Work from Robs in the previous round. Did say someone has to start stepping up and getting those frags, and he seemed like he could rise to the occasion. Double AWP set up on the T side. I generally don't like double AWPs on the CT side on Cobblestone. I'm not sure what they're hoping to do here with the double AWP. So Chris J, the former AWP of the team, and it will be Rob somehow getting away with that. Seemed like Shoxy wasn't even blind, but he could get the double frag. Not meant to be. Body takes him down, and it will be a 4-on-4 now. This is where things become a little bit more difficult. How do you enter to a bomb site if they're denying you opening frags? Well, apparently they're not. Oscar takes down Kenny S, but the refrag comes in time and time again. There it is, though. MBK, another great shot by him, goes down to 13 points of health, but still alive and kicking. And we will finish things off towards A, but it seems like Apex very aware. Oh, be careful, my friend. He'll go down towards the APC. Finally, Sunny showing us some of that aim.
MBK's rotated him very, very quickly, though. Bypassed that smoke in its entirety. And Henry, you've had to say it before, smokes are not force fields. Just going to get passing on through. Body actually gets tagged within inches of death, though, in that Molotov, but they're not ready for MBK, who finishes this off. G2, they are going to go 11-4 up, 7 rounds to their advantage. A fantastic CT side as now we head into this second half.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break. Do not go anywhere. We'll see how this one unfolds. All right, welcome back to potentially the unraveling of Mousesports here. G2 putting on a bit of a masterclass on the CT side of Cobblestone, looking very good indeed, especially the likes of MBK, Body, and Kenny S, I have to say. They completely ravished Mousesports there. We did see some signs of ice towards the end. Picked up one more round. 11-4, definitely not the end of the world. They're going to need a pistol here, Harry. But from what we've seen so far, it doesn't feel like Cobblestone is really their map as of yet. It feels like this new international lineup needs a few more days to work on their map pool.
Yeah, that is at least the impression that they've given us early on. I mean, G2 as well, they're pulling out all the stops. We said that they are a team which differ so greatly from one performance to the next. You know, some games they show up in such a big way, and then others they fall completely silent. So apparently today they've come out in fighting form. And yeah, I mean, you know, getting that 4th round does make quite a big difference for Mousesports. It means even if they do forego the pistol, they can still get a rifle by, but without it being a match point, which does at least give them a lifeline back into this. It means, you know, the game isn't won or lost in the pistol.
We will see. We'll have a look at the buy for G2 now. Shoxy with Kenny S. They've got the utility there. Kenny S with the P250 as well, meaning he has a bit more range with the one-tap potential there of the initial pistol interactions with the CTs. They'll go towards B. This is a fast play as well. All 5 players towards this side of the map, swinging towards the connector, I believe, and towards the upper platform. Not fully committing just yet. The bomb actually goes back. They've forced a rotation. This will be an A split eventually. Sunny, though, finds the first kill and the second. That's just beautiful. Sunny with 3 headshots in towards the connector. That's the round done. Shoxy and Kenny S surely have no grounds to win this, but of course it's Shoxy, and he's starting to prove he's got some deadly aim himself.
Yeah, he's desperately trying to claw this one back. Kenny will be there to help him out, but actually Kenny will fall, leaving it all on Shox. 1v4, and we've already seen heroics out from Sunny now. He's been dropped in this round. Shox back against the wall, does not have armor to try and play with. Aim Punch going to play into this fully. There is a man holding the angle. It's Oscar, but Shock somehow connects that. And now he turns into the 1v3. Going to start to fade away. Stico down in mid. Could make all the difference as he waits out behind the rock. Shox doesn't see it coming, and he will hit the deck. Lands one pulse razor of a shot, but then that will be it. And Mousesports going to be able to pick themselves up the pistol. G2 force buying down into this round. They didn't get that bomb plant, so he'll be allowed to go for this. But look at this replay from Sunny.
Yeah, this was just beautiful. That's so crisp. That's what I wanted to see in the first half hour. He didn't have any of it. But now he's starting to wake up, and that could be the play that kind of brings him in his zone. And maybe he's found his mojo at this point. Round number 2, force buy, of course, from G2. Like you said, no bomb going down. So that is pretty common these days. Scout for Oscar this time, and some rifles across the board for Mousesports. We do have 1 UMP for Stico. Fast play, though, as we do hear the first couple of scout shots there. MBK and Apex bleeding out. They are the walking dead right now as we get into potentially the final play here. Another scout shot lands, and Oscar, he's just weakened them all up for his teammates.
Yeah, once again, it's Sunny. No, it's not. It's actually going to be Robs to try and step up. As within the site, Oscar and Sunny both go down. Rob's going to be tagged low. Somehow G2 doing the damage. Not again. Mousesports, don't let this one slip through your fingers. The bomb plant going to come in. Kenny has himself the scout. Renowned for his AWPing. Let's see if that translates across. Is he going to be able to hold over the SWAT van? Waits patiently. Gets tagged in the Molotov. They take the peek, but he lands the headshot. Shox does damage. It's the 1v1. And somehow G2, they've almost done it again. Stico making his way into the site. Bomb taken away from him here. Doesn't have that kit to play with. Gonna go ahead and smoke it. Not in a position whatsoever to stick. They're spotted out by Shox, and Stico will win that out. Gonna be enough time left to get the defuse. It will come in. Mousesports gonna get themselves a 6th, but G2, that's the 2nd time now they almost managed to do this.
Clever play from Stico there. I like that. Smoking the bomb, and Shoxy wasn't 100% sure whether he could hit the defuse in that range. Has to start encroaching towards that position. Knowing he'd dink the player as well, was hoping that he would touch the bomb and he could spray with that PT-50 and find the final shot. But Stico, a clever play there. I say that this is almost certainly forced by territory for G2. I can see an AK already. Why wouldn't you? You got the bomb down there. You got the CTs down to 1 player remaining. You're definitely going for this one. Try and shut them down and stifle the CTs, as they won't have much to work with here. The scouts out again. MP9s, Max 7s, UMPs, pretty equal in terms of the buy. And we head towards the B side of the map. And unfortunately, we do have 3 CTs towards A, so this could be a bit problematic. Sticker to defend as the first AK comes in towards that upper platform area.
Yeah, it's all eyes on Shox right now. He's the man to try and break apart this B-bomb site hold already. Players rotating in from outside. They've got 4 men on standby. Try and keep the Frenchman at bay. Shox peeking in, lines up the first, doesn't quite find the frag. Now he's got so many angles left to check. Stigo going to take the close peek. Does manage to find the first, but body in with a return. Oscar's been tagged low as everyone within the site being chipped away from, and this scout can't find anything. It's going to fall short. Chris J tries to step up, but instead he steps down, and now Sunny's all that remains. Body will get the triple, beheads the last remaining player, and carries G2 forward to their 12th round.
Just to note as well, Mousesports have won both pistols here and been reset. So they lost in the 2nd round in the first half, and then G2 winning the 3rd with another force buy here. They are the force buy kings and showing us what they can do with those CZs. Up close and personal, that's Apex, swarming the bomb site. CTs were always going to struggle into that round. It's a guaranteed force buy there for G2. Knowing you got it down to the 1v1, you got that bomb down, you're always going to do that, and now they have full control of the game. It's going to be 12-6 and full eco now for Mousesports. Almost definitely going to be 13 rounds on the board for the French side. Nothing really we can do but lie and wait and hope for the best that Mousesports maybe can stack towards that B-bomb side like they are right now with 5 players and maybe get a couple of frags here.
Yeah, Shox is going to be holding it with the scout. Just waiting patiently to see if the peak comes through. G2, I mean, they've shown time and time again, these French boys, how strong their force buys are, and it seems like the only player who can beat them is Valve themselves. If you remember when they nerfed that CZ back in the day, that was kind of the French nerf almost. And, well, Body's going to be mopping up these guys now as he makes his way on in, takes 3. Sunny actually to pick that up. That's a nice bit of damage done. Looking to try and get a bit more, but not looking likely. Sunny is all that remains. They know exactly where he is within this site, or at least I hope they do. He only gets a 2nd, but MBK does prevail. G2 going to go 13-6. But now...
oh, money's still so bad. 3,300 on like 3 players right now. They're going to have to buy here. I think they can afford 1 AWP. Someone had like 5 grand. So we do get 2 M4s, a Mag 7, a UMP, no nades and Sunny. Oscar gets the AWP out. He has to go wild this round. He has to go aggressive. We'll have a look at Oscar as to where he's going. He has to pick for the first kill. He can't just sit back here. He knows it. Waiting for the flashbangs. He'll look towards top and middle. Oh, he's called the nose cross. Now he has. It doesn't hit the shot, though. That's a shame. Had to really hit that one. He knows they're going towards long 8. We'll see how methodical G2 are here. Sticking together. I like this little wolf pack formation they've got. Using that buddy system, and Apex knows the AWPs here as well. This is brave walking on the corner like that, but luckily it's Sunny on the other side with the M4, not the AWP.
Sunny spots them out. He's going to get tagged. Oscar is there to help. Flashes Sunny round. He finds damage. Actually manages to take one, make that 2 as Kenny follows. Repeat looking to try and come in. As Oscar misses that first shot down through middle, not going to miss the second, but MBK drops him on the trade, and now MBK and Body, the 2 that remain. 2 of the most key rifle players here for G2. They're going to fall prey to Sunny over by cannons. MBK flicks back and forth. MBK, what are you doing? He's going to take 3. And now the man behind SWAT spotted out as MBK looks to try and make this one. He's done the damage. Forced back by the Molotov. Chris J's rotated round to mid, and MBK looking to try and solidify this as the MBK era of G2. Starts to make his way down through mid. Chris J reads this perfectly. It's going to be waiting up close. The timing doesn't allow it, and Chris J picks it up, but I was getting very worried for Mouse there.
Well, MBK does significant damage once again to the Mousesports economy. What a play this was, though. That kill through the stable was great. This one here, oh my god. Sunny, he was low HP to be fair, but still, that's so smart by MBK. If he gets that one there, I feel like he has a real chance of winning that round. But 13-7, a lifeline for Mousesports perhaps here. Sunny with great player, no nades, just brutal aim towards long A. Manages to find those first 2 frags. Oscar with the 3rd, but MBK almost sabotaged their chances. Round number 6 now. Definitely starting to heat up here. Mousesports, if they can get this round in, it'll be an eco for G2. Then we really have a game on our hands. Flashbang towards long A. See if he's there, ready and waiting, but I'll flash for now. Sunny could shut them down once again. White's got his knife out. Be careful here. Falls back, repositions. Smoke's coming in. Flashbang's going to land, but MBK once again hitting that first shot down to Oscar now, who has been tagged as well. Hits the no-scope. Apparently not. It's going to be Oscar, though, burning one alive. Taking him to the grave with him. It's a 4-on-3. And this is what I want to see from Mousesports. You don't have to fully commit with these first 2 frags. Just slow things right down. Wait for the reactions. Force some rotations here. Make them feel uncomfortable. Mousesports will get these picks and just go all in towards A. They weren't really thinking about their decisions and waiting to what the CTs had.
Yeah, G2, they're playing this perfectly. Going to smoke off connector. Now they start this push in. Smokes over to SWAT as well for Chris J. Means he's only got the 1 angle left to worry about. They're going to be pushing up through long. Chris J's been tagged low. Hasn't seen anyone yet. And then he finally sees Kenny. Now Rops peeks on out. Does manage to take the first, but Kenny is on point with these trades. Stiko, the last man left in the 1v3, trapped and decapitated. Shox is looking sharp from mid. And G2, they're going to go 14-7 up. 1 round away from match point, and considering that Mousesports have nothing to invest with into this one, that is looking almost guaranteed.
I think you might be right. That's a harsh reset there. Mousesports are clutching at straws, even with their buy in the previous round. It's not looking too good, Harry. The Nova's out. Whenever that gun makes an appearance, things are going to be pretty dire. 14-7, 5-7s, P250s, the Nova. Yeah, I'm starting to paint the picture for you, I'm sure. But we'll see whether Sticko can defend the incoming approach from G2 here. He'll get himself on the upper platform, or will he? Oh my god, body through the smoke. Takes him down. Rest in peace, Sticko. You tried your best. This should be match point at this point. I don't see Mousesports putting out much of a fight here. And indeed, it might be the game.
Well, Chris J, he's going to be waiting at Broken Wall. He might disagree with you as he looks to try and hold close with the P250. Smokes it off. Actually going to make the decision to rotate everyone from Mouse into B. Chris J. Now on the Nova, going to be holding the close angle. I really hope we get something insane from this as Chris J going to go ahead and re-smoke it once again. Pushes on through, but into the firing squad he goes. There was no need for that aggression. He tries to catch Body off guard, but does not account for the rest of G2 just waiting in the wings behind him. This Nova's cursed at this point, and Oscar knows that. Doesn't want to go ahead and pick that up instead. Falls back into the cubby with the D. Sunny holding Oscar, peeks on out, falls to Body, and now Sunny, he's the last hope here. Holding the close angle by the Broken Wall. They're going to come in, and he's fully flashed, can't see anything. Does manage to find the first, but that will be it. As Kenny S mops up the last 2, G2, they're going to go 15-7. They arrive at match point. And now Mousesports going to have to force buy down into what could very well be the last round of this map.
I think it might be. Here's the first shot from Body, I believe, through the smoke. Oh. Oh, it's, here we go. Lovely replay.
That was good. I like it. Bit of time travel in there.
Yeah, that was good. It was just demonstrating the
Capabilities.
the flux capacitor, what it could do, you know? Showing us what it's made of. But it's going to be round number 8 now. AKs and pistols on the server. Shoxy at the first frag. I think that might be all she wrote for Cobblestone. G2 will be running away with this one. Oscar with a chance, though. He does get the deagle headshot. Could get a second as well. Running out of ammo. How is he still alive? Why is he not dead? Can he, please? He takes him down eventually, but he's low HP. But it still should be the round. And indeed, the map for G2. Sticko and Rob's the last line of defense, but they're pinning up some sort of a fight here. Double frag from Sticko. We might have a few more twists and turns in this one. 2-on-1 now. He does some work here. It's down to Robs, the Estonian boy wonder.
He gets spotted there, jumping around on the site, and MBK, that does not allow any room for error. He is a harsh punisher, and there we go. It's going to be G2 to win out Cobblestone. An intense match, Mauser just didn't show any signs of life on that CT side, Henry.
Winning both pistols as well, a little bit disappointing for them, but as I said on their T side, it didn't really seem like they were ready strategically for this one. They've got a great array of firepower, but not really the tactics to go with it right now, I think. We'll see what the boys on the desk thought about that one.
Disappointing, frustrating, upsetting. I'm actually mad at that game of Counter-Strike.
Is that going to be the new Brutal Savage?
I'm so upset. Like the pistol rounds, they're like, oh, cool, let's get some kills and do some sick stuff. And then the anti-ecos, it's like, we just suck and we're just going to lose to pistols. We're not even going to play a cohesive CT unit on that A bomb site. Just get run down, give up the bomb site, not trade, wide peak. Really upset, Chad. Fantastic work from Mousesports there as they go down 16-7 to G2 on fire once again.
Yeah, no, I mean, very underwhelming T-side. I think we all would agree with that. It involved a lot of contact playing, and basically they played really fast pace, something we were discussing before, but you need to have different paces too. Can't really go with that every single time. Worked in the early parts, basically rushing to a bomb site, but then they kept that tempo towards both bomb sites, and then you saw G2 starting to adapt to it. See Body basically manhandling alone on the B bomb side, just maneuvering, finding the right angles, and yeah, you just basically, when you Mousesports, you need to find that different gear, slow things down, and try to build up rounds instead of just trying to brute force your way into the bomb site.
Even if you don't do that, it's just a matter of the execution of what they were doing wasn't on point. Like in that round where Body got a 4K, the spacing wasn't good at all. He was allowed to isolate players in multiple 1v1s. When you're actually going for an execute like that, you want to overwhelm the bomb set, you want to make it, you know, very, very difficult for them to even get a single fight off before you double team them. So I think for Mousesports, it's just a matter of, even if the calls weren't optimal, even though they could have had more depth in their playbook, it's also that the things that they did run weren't on point. The coordination was very off.
You touched on the pace. I like the pace that they started off with on the T side. You know, doing exactly what we saw North do, running straight up middle with those two smokes, blocking off A long, blocking off connector. It worked against G2 perfectly, and then they wanted to be a bit quicker towards B. That was fine too. It's just, imagine if you converted the T side pistol. I know we don't live in a world of ifs and buts, but let's say they did. Okay, then maybe they're looking at a world of butts. Everyone loves a good butt, but you could end with 5 or 6 rounds on that half, even if they didn't have anything else other than those 2 gun rounds. The 1.5 gun rounds they won, pistol round, the 2 conversion rounds, and then you flip over. If they didn't like have such a sloppy CT hold on that first anti-ecos against the force buy and had more people survive, then they would have been going up against a G2 who wouldn't have been able to have so much utility or whatever against, like, equally compared on the first gun round of the next half.
Yeah, I mean, especially first half, you could easily get away with up to like a 7-0 lead. If you win the pistol, you convert the second, third, and then you win the first weapon round with a fast-paced strategy. Then you win the following anti-eco, and even then you can go for an explosive B play. But then it does require the team to be playing that together, keep those distances between the players short enough that they can help each other. Unlike what we see here in the free play, Body just having a ball over time, be able to pick up everyone one by one. And then towards the tail end of the half, that's when he was maybe slow things down and try to do a little bit of different things.
Well, MBK had a really good game. He was up there with 24 kills, 6 assists, 8 deaths, and then Body was just under him with 24 kills, 2 assists, and 11 deaths. So those guys, they were getting a lot done, and it didn't feel like they had to try too hard to make their frags, right?
MBK was stealing frags, wasn't he?
Yeah, we saw that when he ran through connector with the AK. Just Kenny constantly re-peeking with the op, but MBK was just faster than him. But yeah, it was in the second half as well. You know, the round where Shox only had an AK, the rest of the team was on pistols. Once he missed that initial kill, they didn't know he was that far up on B platform. We thought, okay, now the jig is up. You know, surely Mousesports makes the hold now, but G2 just explodes through broken wall with the pistols and wins all the fights with CZ. It's interesting to note that, for example, G2 is a team that completely switched to the CZ on the T side after the Tech 9 nerf. They don't really use that pistol anymore. So a couple of those crucial rounds, really Mousesports just needed to do a better job.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see, you know, how these pistol nerfs are going to play in. We've seen what the UMP nerf has done. Some teams are leaning back towards a few more Famouses in their arsenal. And here you can see the frag tallies for both squads. Sunny was leading the way for Mousesports there. He had that flashy moment on the CT pistol. There's 3 crisp, clean frags of his. They were pretty nice. Everyone had occasional moments in the Mousesports roster, but like we said, losing key rounds there really hurt them in the game, and their T-side plan, even with that coach of LMBT, didn't look like it could get anything going. And that's just a bit unfortunate for the Mousesports guys.
Just the way the cookie crumbles, Chad.
They lost the track.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably all we have to say for Cobblestone. We do have Cage coming up next. Maybe Mousesports can redeem themselves. Maybe they can make me a little bit happier. Let's see you guys again after the break.